All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Hakwadash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth sincerity. Or this is the brother Tawab Rakha from GMS Los Angeles / Inland Empire. Come back with another video in the spirit. And once again, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for opening my eyes to his truth. Allow me to wake up another day and putting the spirit on me to do another lesson in hopes to edify the hopeful elect. Okay, this is gonna be a real quick video. What I'm gonna go into is we have angels that the Lord has ordered to protect us. They got that term guardian angel. All of us have angels that that watch over us. Whether when we out and about, when we out there on the highways and byways, okay, even when we're at home, we have angels constantly around us. And I'm just going to bring out a few scriptures that show that, and just to, bring comfort to brothers out there, because sometimes, you may feel like you're dealing with things on your own. You might be dealing with a lot of affliction. You may be catching hell that other brothers don't know, that's not aware of your situation, and sometimes you get that feeling of, that you're by yourself, in which in reality, we're never alone. We're never alone. That's why, these scriptures are here to comfort us. We read the scriptures, it gives you the right perspective. It gives you the right mindset. It gives you the right way of looking at things, because, we're still in this flesh, and we have to deal with a lot of these things in this earth right now, physically. And then sometimes it takes a toll on our mental, this is where the spirituality kicks in. This is where we have to lean upon our, the spiritual things, okay, which you can find in the scriptures. These things are written for our learning and for our comfort, so I'm just going to bring out a few scriptures, and Lord willing, I pray this be edifying to you brothers and you few sisters out there. So I'm gonna get right into it. This is Psalms chapter 34 verse 7. It says, the angel of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Okay, and like I mentioned, they encamp around those that fear the Lord, and that's those of us that's in this truth, from apostles, elders on down. We have angels around us that protect us and that delivers us, out of certain situations. Now we understand, the times that's ahead, some of us are going to have to be martyrs, but even in that, it's not the same judgment as the wicked of our people are going to receive. Our people are going to be tormented, man. But the righteous, even in the death of the righteous, it's not going to be the same as the judgment upon these 2/3 and these these heathen and Esau, the people that's still on this land, when those missiles touch down. Now the elites, the super rich, okay, they're not going to be destroyed by those missiles. They're going to be the ones that's going to be captured and brought into slavery. They're going to be the first crop of slaves in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, but as far as the rest of the other nations, the ones that's destroyed, they're going to eventually come back as servants, as our slaves in the kingdom as well. Then after that 1,000-year period, Esau being exterminated, all the other nations are going to receive their lands, but they're still going to have to observe the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Okay, But getting back to the point of the video, I guess, matter of fact, let me read it again. Psalms 34:7. The angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him and delivereth them. So like I said, wherever we are, even when we alone, physically alone, you have angels around you, now at the same time, don't tempt the Lord, don't be out here doing reckless things, because the Lord will have it to where you will get touched. Even that he'll allow something to happen to you if you out here, tempting the Lord, man. You out there being reckless, you being foolish, okay? You're not using wisdom, okay? So just because, we have angels around us, that doesn't give us the right to just do wherever the hell we want to do, They're there to protect us, keep us in our ways, as long as we, being obedient unto the Lord, okay? Like it says, they that fear him, okay? As long as you're showing that fear toward the Lord, the Lord is going to have those angels around you to protect you. All right. All right, I got another one. This is Psalms chapter 91, verse 11. It says, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And the angels, that's their job, as far as, protecting us, watching over us, keeping us in all our ways to protect us. Okay, it says, they shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Okay, so you out here, like I said, you out here being reckless, the Lord's going to allow you to be touched. Okay, and that's not a thing any of us want to, play with, man, because, the Lord can have it to where, you can severely be injured or even be put to death in some cases. You got a lot of our people, you got a lot of Jakes, a lot of Israelites among our people that are wild, they're reckless as hell, man, and throughout the years, there's been, certain individuals that used to be around us that had that wild spirit, and they're no longer among us, man, because of that. Scripture speak about travel not with a bold fellow. You got a lot of bold fellows among our nation, but like I said, for the most part, those that really truly believe and fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay, the angels are going to protect us, in all our travels, okay, wherever, even things that's unseen, unknown to us, unknown dangers, unseen dangers, that's what the angels are there for, to protect us. You might be you might be driving down this street, and for some reason, the spirit will have it to where you have to detour, you have to go some way, you have to go another direction that you're not used to going. But the reason why that happened is, that could have been the Lord, letting the angels know, don't let them go down that route because it's dangerous down that route. Okay, you could be killed or hurt, whatever the case may be. That's the Lord, through the angels protecting us. Okay, now I'm gonna bring out this account back in 2 Kings, dealing with Elisha, when they him and Elisha and his servant, they were surrounded by the army of those Syrians, because they plotted to come against Elisha to capture him. And this is an account where Elisha basically told his servant, not to be afraid because the angels were with them. Okay. Or this is 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 8. It says, then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of the Most High, which is Elisha, sent unto the king of Israel, which I believe at that time was Joram, saying, Beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Assyrians are come down. So Elisha was warning the king, which I believe once again was Joram at that time, not to go to that place, because the Assyrians were already there, planning to to ambush attack Israel. Or it says, and the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of the Most High told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. And it says, therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, Will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? It says, and one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king, but Elisha the prophet that is in Israel telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. So they basically told the servants of the king of Syria told them, basically Elisha warned the king of Israel not to go to that place that the Syrians was there waiting for them to come down. All right, it says, and he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, and hosts compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? Okay, and this is Elisha's response. It says, and he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So Elisha, he prayed to the Lord for the Lord to open his servant's eyes to see that they had the angels around them. I'm just bringing this out just to drive home the point that the angels are always around the Lord's men. Okay, here it is. They were surrounded by an army. It said it was a great host. So it must have been thousands of soldiers, troops surrounding the city where Elisha was at. And that flesh, his servants, they were afraid, but Elisha, he showed that faith, and he had that. That's another great example of having faith, having that strong belief in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because he knew, of course, physically they surrounded, but he also understood that the power that we serve is greater than any power that's on this earth. The Most High set all these different kings up, okay? It tells you that the Lord, he setteth one down, and he putteth one down, he set up another. That's how the Lord does things, But the point is, the Lord has those angels around us to protect us in all our ways. So even when you're dealing with certain things on your own, okay, you always have those angels around you. We are, and these scriptures are good to go into, to read, when we find ourselves, in that spirit, feeling lonely, So, like I said, just real quick to the point, I pray this is edifying to you sincere brothers, as well as you few sisters out there. Stay strong, keep fighting. We almost out of here. So with that, I'm going to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKodash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in true sincerity. Shalom.